Hello everyone, this is Theo. In today's video, I'm going to review this digital stylus called the Adonit Note Plus that's made for selected iPad models. The iPads that are supported are the 2018 or newer models, and those will be the iPad 3rd generation 11 and 12.9 inch, the iPad Air 3rd gen, iPad 6 and 7, and the iPad Mini 5. This stylus doesn't work on tablets made by other manufacturers. Now, many months ago, Adonit released a stylus called Adonit Note. This is the Adonit Note Plus. The main differences between the Note Plus and the Note is, well, both support palm rejection, but the new stylus has pressure sensitivity as well as tilt sensitivity in addition to palm rejection. And this supports slightly over 2000 levels of pressure sensitivity. I'm going to give you the bottom line up front. The Adonit Note Plus is an excellent stylus for taking notes. It has no misalignment, so it's really accurate at capturing handwriting. Now, when it comes to drawing, it doesn't perform as well as I expected, even though it has pressure sensitivity. So if you're looking for a stylus to take notes with, this is something that I can recommend very easily. But for drawing purposes, I still recommend the Apple Pencil, even though it's more expensive. By the way, I have a text review to go alongside with this video. The link to the text review will be in the video description below. Do check that out in case I have any updates to my video review. Alright, let's take a closer look at the stylus. There are two side buttons here, and this button doubles up as a power button as well. Just press once and this will light up to tell you that it's powered on. Battery life is rated to be around 10 hours and it takes 1 hour to fully charge it. To power off, you just have to press this button and hold for 5 seconds, or it will power off automatically after 20 minutes of inactivity. Now, to charge this stylus, you can charge it on the back with the USB-C cable that's provided. The documentation says you can still use the stylus while it's charging, but the included charging cable is a bit too short. You may be able to program this to physical shortcut buttons to specific shortcuts, but whether or not you can do so really depends on the app that you use. This matte surface tip provides a bit of friction on glass surface. If you're using this on a matte screen protector, it's going to give you a very nice tactile feeling. Now, this is replaceable, but you have to buy the replacement tips yourself. None are included in the box. The stylus has this nice matte texture throughout, and it's really nice to hold. This whole thing is made of plastic. Build quality seems to be quite solid, and the weight is just nice, not too heavy and not too light. Palm rejection works on almost all the apps, but pressure sensitivity, tilt sensitivity, and whether or not you can customize the shortcut buttons here really depends on the apps that you use. So these are the apps that support the stylus. You can find this list on Adonit's website. I'll put the link to this page in the video description below. So for example, here with this app called Concepts, it supports palm rejection, tilt, pressure, and the ability to customize the shortcuts. But for Medibank Paint Pro, it doesn't support tilt sensitivity. And to access the full features of this stylus, you have to pair it with each app you use. So if you use 4 drawing apps, you have to pair it 4 times. Pairing and the use of this stylus requires Bluetooth. Now you just have to pair it once and you can close the app, open it again, and it will recognize and remember the stylus. At the time of this review, there is no support for this stylus on Procreate yet, but on the product page, it says Procreate support will be coming very soon. Alright, let me show you how to pair the stylus. I'm going to use Medibank Paint. You can still use the stylus even if you do not pair it, but there won't be any pressure sensitivity and palm rejection. So to pair this stylus with Medibank Paint, you just have to click Pen Pressure Settings. It says here in this section, to pair the stylus, you have to turn on the power and press with the stylus tip. Now, even though the power is already on, you still need to press the power button again and press the tip against this section here. So now it's paired. Now that this stylus is paired with Medibank Paint Pro with this particular app, you can customize the 2 shortcut buttons. You can choose from the list of shortcuts that are available. And notice here there is this palm rejection option. Some of the apps will have this option. If you turn this on, the app will only recognize pen input. So with palm rejection turned on in the settings for this software, you won't even be able to use finger gestures. So I need to turn that off. Now the palm rejection from the pen, it's already pretty good, so you don't have to turn that on. So now you have access to all the finger gestures, and now you should have pressure. Yep, it does have pressure. You may notice the animation, it's a bit choppy. So I'm not sure if that's an issue with the app or with the stylus, but I've tried this stylus with other drawing apps and those were pretty smooth, so I think it could be an issue with Medibank Paint Pro, so maybe they need to update the app to support the stylus better. And as you can see, there is pressure. So the drawing experience, it's not that nice with the choppy animation. It's still usable, but if the lines, they were smoother, I mean the animation, if it was smoother, it would be a more satisfactory experience. Alright, let me switch to another app. This app I'm using now is called Concepts, and it also supports the stylus. So what I want to show you here is how the line transitions from thin to thick. The line transition here for this stylus is not as smooth compared to Apple Pencil. So here you can see it's thin and suddenly it becomes very thick, and here it's thick, suddenly it becomes very thin. So the transition is not as smooth. And here when I taper the line off, it should taper to a sharp point, but here it tapers to a thick end. Whether or not the lines taper to a sharp point or something like this sometimes depends on the app you use as well. I'm happy to say that performance with Concepts, it's way smoother compared to Medibank Paint Pro, and tilt works as well. This stylus, by the way, is very accurate. The line is always directly beneath the pen tip, so there is no misalignment at all, regardless of how you hold the pen. This is ZenBrush 2. This app supports pressure and tilt sensitivity. So now we have the thin lines, the thick lines. This app will also show you the angle of the pen. Pay attention to the cursor that appears as I touch the screen. So notice the cursor, see how it follows the direction of the stylus. So with ZenBrush 2, you can draw with the pen at an angle to get the broad strokes, and draw with the pen vertically to get the thin strokes. This is Art Studio Pro, so before I can have pressure sensitivity with this app, I need to pair this. Again, press the power button and click, and it's connected. Now with this particular app, there doesn't seem to be any way for me to customize the shortcut buttons. So pressure sensitivity works here, no issues. Of all the note-taking apps that I have here, only Zoom Notes supports the stylus. I've already paired this stylus with Zoom Notes, so let's see what features we have access to. So here it says connected Adonit Note Plus. It even tells you the battery life, and here we can customize the two shortcut buttons. So these are the shortcuts you can choose from. This app doesn't support the stylus, so there is no pressure and tilt sensitivity, but there is still palm rejection. And palm rejection works really well, so I'm writing all this with my palm on the screen. So even though this app doesn't support the Adonit Note Plus, you can still use the stylus. It's just that you won't be able to have pressure and tilt sensitivity. And this applies to all the other apps that do not support this stylus. You will still have palm rejection, but you won't have pressure and tilt sensitivity, and you won't be able to customize the two side buttons. The overall writing and drawing experience really depends on the apps you use. So some apps will be smoother, some apps will be a bit choppy. For example, in this case with Medibank Paint Pro, it's a bit choppy. But overall, with most of the apps that I've used, it's on the smooth side. And I've discovered one issue as well. Earlier on in the video, I mentioned you can close the app and open it again, and it should be able to remember the stylus. Sometimes there is a slight delay with the app remembering the stylus, so you have to wait for a split second or two before you can draw with pressure sensitivity. Alright, to conclude, if you write a lot and you are looking for a stylus for taking notes, this is one I can recommend very easily because it's excellent at capturing handwriting. Now, if you want to save some money, you can actually go with the previous model, the Adonit Note, the one without pressure sensitivity. That's cheaper, but it's also as good when it comes to taking notes. For drawing purposes, I still recommend the Apple Pencil because that's just better, but the Apple Pencil is more expensive compared to the Adonit Note Plus and the Adonit Note. Anyway, if you're interested to get this stylus, do consider getting it through the Amazon affiliate links in the video description below. That helps the channel. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope this video is helpful. See you in the next one. Bye!